Discover, count your days. Count your days. It'll sue me for a credit card that you gave me 10 years ago and you gave me a $10,000 credit limit at 21 years old. Okay? So you sued me. I get it. I didn't pay it back. That was my fault. I fell on hard times. Okay? I had a lot of I went through. Okay? So I didn't pay him. Y'all sued me. I tried to work with the lawyer and say, hey, I can only afford $50 a month. Okay? I can only afford $50 a month. Like literally, I work 3 jobs. I do fucking DoorDash. I don't know. What else you want from me? He said, no, 160. And I was like, well, no, I can't afford that. And then they said, oh, well, can you borrow money from someone? No, if I could borrow money from someone, I would, and I would give it to you. Trust me, I'm not trying to say I didn't do it, but I don't have money.
What is going on? She's being sued for not paying back credit card debt. A lot of y'all out there think that this sort of thing doesn't happen to people. It absolutely does. It happens to a lot more people than you think. Many people think they're going to run up credit card debt and not have to face any consequences. That's just not the truth. You might even feel it on the back end if you have to file bankruptcy because now your credit's going to be shot. It will be hard to even finance a dishwasher for many people after you file bankruptcy. But this sort of thing right here ruins people. And I don't think this is funny at all. This is not a game, but a lot of y'all pick up the controller and decide to play it. There's not enough sob story to save you from the stuff that you're going to have to endure in the future by just simply not being financially educated. Granted, she may not have known the repercussions of her credit card at 21. She may not have had anyone to tell her, but y'all, the internet is out there to help y'all now. We have to start being more resourceful because the truth is nobody cares if we weren't taught. I wasn't taught either. Nobody cares if you didn't know how big of a deal it was. They still want their money. Am I right or am I wrong? There's a lot of things that people like to argue with, but you can't argue with the facts. And the facts are, when you're in the real world, nobody really cares about all that sob story stuff. Where's the money? That might be too raw for some of y'all, but that's what it is. Where is the money? Every business you go in want to know where they money at. If you can't get no services for free, you can't get nothing for free whenever you're in the world doing transactions. You can't even get a dang coffee for free unless somebody bless you. And that's a blessing, don't get me wrong. Credit card companies ain't giving money out for free because they're your friends. They're giving it to you so you can stay in debt. They gave it to you young so you could stay in debt and start the debt cycle when you're young because you don't know no better. And guess what? They still not going to care. It's going to come back on you at the end of the day. 10 years from when you was 21. Do you think they're going to care? No. And that's the part that a lot of y'all don't want to hear, but it's true. And I say this as somebody that's 32, living in the reality of how this world is. Nobody really cares. They're going to sue you. You're going to have to file bankruptcy. You're going to end up struggling. You're going to end up paying the credit card companies more than what you even borrowed. They are going to make your life so hectic. All they're going to say is, you signed. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's not predatory because it is. I'm also saying 2 things can be true at the same time. They don't care. Do y'all get it? They don't care if you have kids. That's a rough one. I know. They don't care. They don't care if you got to pay child support. They don't even care if your mom is dying. Still want their money on time. Do y'all get it? You see, I would be wrong if I lied to y'all and told you what you wanted to hear to make it sound good so you felt better about it. That means I really don't care. You will have to face the consequences of your own actions and you will be held accountable. Whether I think you should be held accountable or not does not matter in the real world because what I feel and what the reality is 2 different things. And that's what we need to be honest about. I don't like to see people suffering. I don't like to see it. I hate to see people crashing out online about these sort of things because you know what you're going to get hit with when you post a story? Here we go. I'm going to tell you this right here. Welcome to adulthood. Why did I bring that up? Because that just goes to show as soon as you hit 18, it is what it is. They're going to say, welcome to the party. Everybody that's an adult is going to say, welcome to the party. Get ready. That's all they got for you.
But I don't have the money. I don't have it. Okay. So y'all sued me and I got a letter because the judge ruled in favor of them, obviously. But I got a letter and the letter pretty much says, hey, so you got to pay this. And there's going to be interest on it until it's paid in full.
What can you do besides pay it and get sued? Just think about it, y'all. What can you do in this situation besides pay it, get sued, or file bankruptcy? Because ready or not, here they come. You can't hide. They're going to find you and take it slowly. I know I'm just already knowing. A lot of y'all are going to flood in the comments and say, oh, Simone, the system's predatory. It shouldn't be like this. I agree with you. That's my compassion talking. My logical mind tells me they will sue you. My logical mind tells me they will get their money somehow, some way. My logical mind tells me this might end up on your credit. You might not even be able to get a car loan. And if you don't have money to pay $150 or $160 or whatever it was to what the court mandated you pay, do you expect me to believe that you got money to make a payment on a car in cash? I don't even care if it's a used car. I don't care if the money for the car is 10 grand. Do you think, just think about it, do you think one is prepared to do that without credit? These are signs that someone likely needs credit if they can't pay the $160 for the credit cards. You see, when you rely on credit, but you don't pay the creditors back, what happens? Pop quiz. Some of y'all already failed the test. The answer is you're not able to live using the same thing that you are refusing to pay back. Again, not my emotional self answering these questions, my logical self. And I know y'all ain't gonna want to hear this. I think it's in her best interest to find that 160, like how she finds the money for her mortgage or for her rent. Because what is the alternative? For all of y'all that don't like that answer, what is the alternative? If you lease a house, they're going to find out that you're not paying your creditors back. Do you think that they're going to want to lease the house to you over other potential tenants? You don't own anything. And if you do own things, what if you need a new roof? Do you have money for that? Or are you going to end up utilizing credit? Do y'all see how bad of a cycle you can end up in by not paying off your credit cards and being sued? It's definitely hard when you have to make these sort of decisions because you have to really think about how this is going to affect you financially and affect you in your real life, especially if you have children. And the truth is, the problem is going to be yours at the end of the day, yours to sit with and yours to figure out. We can talk about it online all we want, but we all live different lives based off of the decisions that we have made to get us where we are, which means results may vary. Some of us are going to have to figure ways to get out of situations because of the choices we made. This is how it goes.
So I don't have the money. I don't know what you want me to do. I don't have it.
They want her to pay it. They don't care how she get it. That's the truth. They don't care if you need to go DoorDash every day to get them their $160 a month or whatever it is. They don't care if you got to sell plates. They don't care if you have to downsize. They don't care if you have to sell your car. They don't care if you have to be a stay-at-home mom. They don't care if you have to sell your clothes. They don't care if you can't get your hair done, your nails done, your eyebrows done. They don't care if you can't get any more piercings. They don't care if you can't get any more tattoos. They don't care if you can't go get your Starbucks. They don't care if you can't go out to eat. And they don't care if you don't like green eggs and ham. They want their money. We really make stuff more difficult than it has to be. I am telling y'all what they don't care about. The they is the businesses, not me. They don't care about your sob story. This is a horrible time to be dealing with this sort of stuff, which is why we need to turn up the heat. We need to be truthful about the implications of bad spending. People can't afford to start making bad financial decisions. Pick up some more shifts, y'all. If you have to DoorDash, which I applaud her for doing what she said she was doing already, because she says she worked 3 jobs. I don't know if she's still working those 3 jobs. You may have to do that. I'm not saying it's going to be fun. See, we only want to talk about what we think is going to be an option that suits how we feel is acceptable. If we don't feel like working 3 jobs is acceptable, we just rule it out. For the general public, is it an option to do something that you really don't want to do to put you where you need to be or in a better financial situation? Taking comfort out of the equation and how we feel. Bills don't care if you're tired. I'm sorry, y'all. It don't. And trust me, I don't like the fact that a lot of people have to participate in hustle culture. A lot of people are going to have to participate in hustle culture because of the decisions they made in the past. They have no choice but to work extra shifts at work. This is further proof that whatever we do in the past will catch up to us today. And I know a lot of y'all like to use the excuse, oh, we were young. Nobody cares about when we were young. You were young back then. You're going to be held accountable now in your 30s and 40s. And I say this as somebody in my 30s. You can't just, oh, I was young it out of every situation. Because nobody cared back then and they don't care now. When did that ever get us out of any situations? Just saying we're young. These are words that do nothing for us to get out of the situation we're in. Going to have to be some action. It might have to be some hard, long nights. That's the truth. Y'all want the sexy options to stuff. But this is the real part of adulting that ain't sexy. This is the truth. This is how it goes.
I do not have it. Y'all spent more money on a lawyer than to just write it off. I'm sorry, like I f***ed up, but I don't have it.
You see how? Oh, man. Okay, so she said they spent more money on a lawyer than for them to just write off her stuff. You see how that worked? How they still didn't care. And she might actually be right, because I don't know. I wasn't there. But imagine you thinking, oh, it's going to cost you too much to sue me to get a lawyer to come after me for this money. And they go get the lawyer and still say, give me my money. Ma'am, it's dirty, it's cutthroat, that's how it goes. She even said, I'm sorry. She said, I'm sorry. And you know what that sorry gets you? Repaying them people $160 a month. Repaying them what they said they wanted in the first place. Did the sorry hold any weight here? They care about her being young based off of the evidence of what you've seen? This might be a little too raw for some of y'all. But you're seeing it in real time. We can have feelings and compassion for people all we want, but never forget and never get it misconstrued. Those companies don't care about y'all. They want their money every time.
So what do you want me to do? Pull it out of my hole? I don't have it. So you, Discover. That was predatory. I was 21. You guys gave me $8,000 to start with. And then when you saw me hitting that limit, y'all said, let's raise it to 10 grand.
So she was 21 when she got it. They upped it from $8,000 to $10,000. So she went ahead and ran up an additional $2 grand on it when she was not being responsible with money that she was being lent. And now they want their money. And that's how they get a lot of y'all. Raising the credit limit, because they already see that you're not disciplined. They see you've maxed out the 8 and they say, ooh, we got us one here. And the credit card company is probably thinking, why just get interest on 8 grand if we can get interest on 10 grand? They're already showing that they're not financially responsible. Let's just bury them in some more debt to where they owe us. This is how y'all will end up working to pay off debt all the time, because you're borrowing money. Think about it like this. You're borrowing money from future you. Let me tell you what's going to happen. You're going to spend the 10 grand on the credit card today. You're going to say, oh, well, I'm so young. I'll be okay. I have time to pay it back. They'll understand. Life happens. I only get to live once. I'm young, I'm hot, I'm sexy, whatever y'all young folks be saying. And I ain't got nothing against that. Do your thing. They're going to give you that 10 grand. You're going to run it all up, all the way up. Now you have successfully put yourself in a situation to where the future you is already clocked into work. I don't care where you work. You could work at McDonald's. You could work at Amazon. You could be a factory worker. You have essentially, successfully, by the way, signed future you up to work hours and hours and hours at that job. You don't even got to know what the job is. Just know for the next 5 years, the next 10 years, you have successfully clocked yourself in for overtime, because that's what it's going to take in order to take care of you, your cost of living that you have, and any other new life circumstances you add to the pot. And that includes if you decide to have kids. I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear that. It's the truth. Oh, you got married. You want to go have a destination wedding. You're going to put that on credit too. Well, congratulations. You just added another 5 to 10 grand. Now you just don't owe 10, you owe 20. That was only in the 3-year span that you just did that. Oh, you want to get a car because now you're 25. You should have your dream car, right? You're going to go get the worst car possible with the worst APR. Guess what that was? More debt. Then you're like, well, now I'm in my mid-20s. I'm about 27. Everybody's getting a house. You're not going to care that the interest rates are high. You're going to say, it's my time. I've been working hard. It's my time. I have a family. I deserve the white picket fence. Guess what you're going to do? And some of y'all might even overpay for the house. You're going to get the house with a high interest rate, knowing good and well you're going to make bare minimum payments. And don't get me started if you have student loans already. Don't get me started on that. Do y'all see all the different stuff I just added? And over the course of time, I just added a little bit more. I didn't even add in if you have any medical instances happen. I didn't add in if your kids, because some of y'all are going to have kids in this time span, if they have any medical expenses. I didn't even get on dental. I didn't even get on car maintenance. I didn't get on if you lose your job, if your spouse loses their job, if you need to move your mom and dad in, if your dog gets sick. I didn't add in nothing extra. Do y'all see how many debt obligations I just added on and just sprinkled on in there little by little? Guess what that's called? Lifestyle creep. And guess who don't care? These folks that y'all want to keep borrowing money from and think it's a game. This is how we get into what? A debt cycle. And then before you know it, you're in too deep. Please, for the love of God, listen to the people who are telling y'all what you're in for. Look at people like this. Don't look to laugh, because it ain't funny. Look to learn. Look to have an honest conversation. This is not a game. This is not a drill. Debt is not normal, and you do not have to go into all of these bad types of debt. You can have a game plan, work your game plan, stay down. Stop trying to keep up with everything that's going on in the world, and mind your business, stack your bread, stay out of debt the most you can, y'all. There are going to be some circumstances where, yeah, it might make sense to use the credit card. You might not have the money, but y'all, the best thing you can do is become financially responsible. Get some financial literacy and some financial education. So in the event that you even have to do that as a last resort, you understand the gravity of the situation. Nothing is worse, in my opinion, than getting in these situations and not understanding how bad they can truly affect you in the future, and then getting caught up in bankruptcies, getting sued by credit card companies, getting sued by the bank, not having no money in the bank, not having an emergency fund, not being able to afford one life circumstance. That is scary, y'all. That's the scary part of being an adult. And it's even more scary when you have nobody to depend on, nobody that you can look at to help you out. Some of us come from environments where we can't call a soul to help us. Ain't no help. You can't afford to mess up. You can't afford to be in this situation. Or you might be on the street because you don't have nobody to lean on. That's tough to know, but that is the truth for many of us. That hurts, don't it? You don't come from a family with money. Your family's struggling too. Where is the money coming from? You might even be the person that they're going to call when stuff gets rough. Who finna help you out? But I find living in the truth, even if it's hard, it's better than telling yourself lies, because then you know how to move accordingly in this world. But y'all, let me know what you think about all this down below. Do you think that this is a valid crash out over this Discover lawsuit that this lady had as far as her credit card debt? Are you trying to get yourself out of credit card debt? And if you got anything out of this video, make sure you hit like and subscribe. And we have to start making better decisions today in order to have a better future.